Hi, thank you for joining. This is Coded Ben and you have Tech. Okay, so in this tutorials, we'll learn how to create a file in our current directory. Okay, in the previous tutorial, we learned how to create a directory. Okay, with this section, we'll learn how to create a file. Okay, all right. So we'll go straight to it. Uh, our first line will be we would have to import the model. Okay, so let's go ahead and import the model. So we do const, then we have open, close, because we'll be needing, we'll have to open the file and close it. So we have to open the file. Okay, that will create the file and close the file. Okay, all right. So anytime you open a file, you ought to close the file. All right, so we have require. Then we have here node first. We'll be using the promise version, so we'll do promises. Okay. Uh, where from this? Okay. All right. Then we have file. That's the file that we need to create. Okay. So this one, the file does not exist, so we have to create a file. So you can name it anything. I will name mine open close file.txt. Okay, so that's the name I've given to the file that I want to create. Okay, all right, so let's establish the open link. Okay, so the open file, we take file. Okay, so if you take the file, that's the file that I want to create, then take the write type. Okay, so there are several write type. We have the W plus, we have the A, we have the WX, we have the A plus. So you can check, you can go through the node.js documentary. Okay. Um, so when you check the node.js documents, you find the various types of ways we can create a file. Okay. All right. So will write, this one will write a file even if the file hasn't been created. Okay. If the file has already been created, it will throw an error. So with the WX, we create a new file. Okay. All right. So if the file has already been created, we don't need to use the WX, else it will throw an error. Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll need a constant. We'll need a variable or maybe a number or a string. Okay, to define the file that we are creating. Okay. So we will just use one. You can use two. You can use a string as well. A string like this as well. Okay, but I'm using just one. Okay, all right. Then after that, we need to create an error. You know, the err that we've always been creating. That will handle a callback error message. Okay, all right. So we need to create the err and also have another function. Okay, so this function will handle the file open and close. Okay, all right. Um, we need to have here the close here. We open this side. Then we have if err. What do we do if err? Okay, so we'll establish a link here. Let's go here and create this one inside. So we say if err.code. No, I'm not using this. I'm using exists. That means that if it already exists. Okay, so I have here console log, console error, console.error. No, I'm not using error message. I will say that if there's an error, say that file already exists. Already exists is fine. That's fine. File already exists is fine. Okay. So after that, what I'll do, I'll have to return the results. Okay. I'll need the results, so I'll return the results. Okay. Then what I'll do here is, so if err, what I want to do is throw. Remember, we've not we've not defined the message. This is also a condition. Okay, so if err, if this is also a condition inside the if err. So we are saying if err through err. Okay. Um, okay, so when we are done here, let's close this one. Okay, then when we are done here, let's define try here. So we are using try here because when you open the file, okay, we want to put it in a try function, okay, so that it will control the file that you create, okay. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's use try here. Okay, so try. We use a function called write my data. Okay, so we have fd. Right. Okay. After running this fd, what do we do? Okay, so let's close this block. That's the try block. Okay. Okay, we are not using catch. Okay, remember we are not using catch because we already have err, which is already catching or throwing an error if there's any error. So we use catch. So what again do we do? Let's do finally. Okay, let's introduce ourselves to finally. So what the finally does is that no matter what, if the uh, so no matter what, if the function okay executes, the finally the finally function will definitely be executed. Okay, so even if there's an error or there's no error, this block of code will be executed. All right. So let's define what will handle the finally. So the finally will just it will just let's just close the file. Okay. So close fd. Um, okay. So the finally everyone, let's say err here inside the fd. So if there's any error inside when it's closing the file, if there's any error there, this will handle it. Okay, so if any error, let's close the error. What do we write here? We say if err, just throw err. Okay, let's just throw err. All right. I need one more block of code. Who is that one? Okay, so I think this is that. Okay, all right. So I think we are set now. So now we can go ahead and run the function. Okay, all right. So let's check our current directory. We should be able to see a file, open close file created for us. So let me run a check in my directory and see. Okay, open close is here. So as you can see, it has already created a file for us. Okay, all right. So that is it for this segment. We'll meet again in the next section. Thank you. All right.